What's up, everybody? This is Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, and it's hard times today in America, and you can help out Adam and Tyler Wood by subscribing today, baby. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Adam and Tyler Wood. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, and subscribe. I do appreciate it greatly. First off, if you can't tell already, my voice, it's a little froggy. I have been sick all weekend. I apologize, but I just got done watching Fastlane. We're talking about it. I'm just going to go right through it. I apologize. We're just talking about the matches, what happened. So in case you're wondering, what happened? I don't have the WWE Network. I want to know who won. This is your source. So match number one, it was Xavier Woods and Big E. They defeated Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura in the Kick-Out show. This was not originally planned, but that was thrown in kind of last minute. Match number two was the Usos versus Shane and The Miz for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship. The Usos won. The only really cool part was when one of the Usos was on the turnbuckle and Shane was in the other. And the Uso was going to jump on The Miz, and then Shane jumped and kicked him in between it, so it kind of like messed him up. So we're like, this is awesome. But in the end, the Usos ended up going over, and The Miz and Shane were upset, and they went to go see Miz's dad, and like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. And then Shane attacked The Miz from behind, started beating him up. So, of course, you're going to have The Miz versus Shane at WrestleMania. I don't know about you, but just a side note, I'm not sure if that's Miz's dad or it's his mom. He's got a really messed up haircut and has a goofy looking fella. Then we had an Elias segment. He's just going out making fun of the crowd. Match number three was for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, Asuka versus Mandy Rose. It was a decent match, but the whole time Sonya Deville was on the outside looking for stuff under the ring. She pulled the drape or the curtain or whatever up on, and then Mandy went against the rope, tripped, fell. Then she got kicked by Asuka, pinned 1, 2, 3. So now you got Mandy Rose not too happy with Sonya Deville. Match number, and then after that, then the rest of the New Day went to go see Kofi, and he was waiting for Vince McMahon. They're like, you gotta go in there. And they go in there and they talk to Vince like, hey, he needs to be in the match for the WWE Championship. He's like, you're right. The WWE Championship is going to be triple threat, and your match is up next. So he alluded to, like, oh, it's going to be triple threat for Kofi, Kevin Owens, and Daniel Bryan. So when Kofi goes out there, he's waiting, and all of a sudden the Bar comes out. So it was the Bar versus Kofi Kingston. They beat him up. Then towards the end, Xavier Woods and Big E, who were barred from ringside, decided to come out there and try to help. But then Shinsuke and Rusev beat them up. So all the New Day got beat up. So they're definitely building towards Kofi Kingston getting the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, but in order to do that, you got to get some heat from other people. You got to get them to feel sorry for Kofi, and what a better way to have him tricked by his boss, because everybody hates their bosses and you hate being tricked. That was match number 4. So match number 5 was for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Sorry, everybody. It was Ricochet and Aleister Black versus the Revival versus Rude and Gable. This is the first really entertaining match. Like I said, Ricochet is insane. Aleister Black's all right. A lot of flips, tosses, Hurricane Ranas, and things like that. I put in here Hurricane Rana from Ricochet to the Revival. I don't exactly remember. Oh, that was one of the Revival members was up on the turnbuckle, and Ricochet Hurricane Rana had been threw him onto everybody on the outside. That was cool. The Revival ended up rolling up Chad Gable, and still your Raw Tag Team Champions, the Revival. Match number 6. This was originally when I did the predictions, it was Ray versus Andrade Cien, but I guess they made a fatal 4-way for the United States Championship. This is another good match, a lot of flips and tosses and things like that. But in the end, Rey Mysterio got in a Kina clutch from Samoa Joe, and he didn't tap, he just passed out. So, and still, your United States Champion up here. There we go, Samoa Joe. Match number 7 was for the SmackDown. I did it again. The Women's Tag Team Championship, Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Tamina and Nia. In the end, Bayley did a Hurricane Rana roll up to Nia and pinned her. And then Nia and Tamina started beating him up. And then Beth Phoenix, who was on commentary, came out there and was like, hey, you need to be not doing that, blah, blah, blah. And then they started beating up her. And then Natalya came out and they beat up her. So in the end, Tamina and Nia looked strong. Next up, you have KO versus Daniel Bryan versus the mystery person, Mustafa Ali. This is a decent match, but in the end, Mustafa Ali, of course, Eric Rowan came in, interfered, threw Kevin Owens off to the side, got rid of him. Then it was Mustafa Ali and Daniel Bryan, and then Mustafa Ali was on the turnbuckle, like the second rope, did like a jump back flip thingy, and then Daniel Bryan hit him with the running knees to the face, even though if you do the slow-mo back, you can see it's clearly in the chest. Then he pins him 1, 2, 3, and still your WWE Champion, or Planet Champion, whatever Daniel Bryan wants to call himself, Daniel Bryan. Match number 9 was Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. So, of course, if Becky won, she'd get to go to WrestleMania, which Ronda Rousey wants now for some reason. And Charlotte didn't want that because, of course, she wants to win it. Which is weird because, what's her name? Becky's already, not Becky. Ronda Rousey's already fought against Charlotte, and Charlotte had to cheat at the end, and she ended up not winning because she started beating her up with weapons. So you'd think Ronda would just want to fight Charlotte alone because she knows she can beat her clean. But, of course, they have to give Ronda the spotlight. Oh, look at her. So you see her running out. I'm going to get it. So she runs out there, she just runs out there and like punches Becky right in the stomach or in the face. I can't remember, when she's in the figure 4 or figure 8. And then so because of that disqualification, Becky ends up winning. So Ronda's just off in the corner like, ha, I showed you guys I beat the system. I went out here to punch Becky, and Becky's in the match like I want. It really kind of took the air out of the arena. It seemed like everybody's just like, what? Like, I was thinking about while I was watching. It's kind of like you finally lose your virginity, and it's to your cousin. It's like, oh man, finally got laid. Who? Cousin Becky. What? Your cousin? Like, I'm from the South, and apparently that happens a lot more than I'm aware of. But that is not something you want to brag about. So it's like, all right, cool, I lost my virginity. But when you find out they're in if they show up to your family reunion and it's not because you married them, it's because somebody's already in your family, it's not something to brag about. And that's exactly what it felt like when Ronda Rousey ran out there just, I'm going to do whatever I want. And she punches Becky. So we get Becky versus Charlotte versus Ronda at WrestleMania, which I still think it should just be Becky and Ronda so that Becky can tap out Ronda. At WrestleMania, let's say there's people talking about maybe Becky and Ronda will fight each other at SummerSlam, and then Becky will finally beat her one-on-one, but that's just SummerSlam. Nobody cares. It's WrestleMania. That's the big one. That's the people think about. So I think they're mishandling that. Then we had the third and thank goodness final live segment. He starts singing his song, and then Lacey Evans comes out, which I don't know what they're doing with her. I'm from the South, and I think she's from South Carolina. I don't like her gimmick so far. She comes out there, walking around. Then RKO out of nowhere to Elias, and then while Randy Orton's like, yeah, I showed him. Then AJ Styles gives him the phenomenal forearm, so AJ Styles stands tall at the end of this segment. So clearly Randy versus AJ at WrestleMania, if you're asking me. The last final match was the Shield. The Shield's last time together, unless if something happens and Dean Ambrose leaves and he comes back later on. But versus Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. This is an alright match. I said the only person in the Shield that I really appreciate is Seth freaking Rollins. At one point, Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre were outside with Seth and Dean. They were beating each other up, and then Seth jumps from the top, lands on all of them. Like, Seth, calm down, buddy. You got this Universal Championship you got to worry about a month, so don't kill yourself. And then you see Baron Corbin beating up Roman Reigns a lot and back and forth in the ring. But in the end, it gives it to Baron Corbin versus the Shield. They powerbomb him one last time after they powerbombed Drew McIntyre, I believe, through the table. So they pinned him 1, 2, 3, and the Shield wins their last final match together. Nothing too crazy there. Like I said, that was pretty predictable. So we have predictions, and the winner by 7 points is a tie between Josh Lane and Klutzy B. Thank you, fellas. I said you're the only 2 people to compete, and you both got a 7 points. So thank you for competing and winning. I do appreciate your effort. I think you beat what I had predicted. I can't remember. Once again, I said my brain is in a fog, not my fang is in a brog. That is it. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I said Fastlane overall was basically like a Raw with more title matches, in my opinion, with some SmackDown stuff sprinkled in there. That's my thoughts. Tell me what you thought about the pay-per-view down below. I said that was the last pay-per-view for WrestleMania. Yay! The grandest stage of them all. Looking forward to it, even though it's going to be a 17-hour show. And I'm just rambling on. I apologize. Like I said, I am not feeling too well. But I had to get this video out. I, once again, appreciate you guys checking out this video. And until next time, peace.